Nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
Yo, check it out, man. It's your boy Shice Bubs, Mr. Ike Key. We back with another podcast episode. What's up, my co-host?
Lisa B.
In the motherfucking building. And our special invited guest all the way from the Diamond District.
Yes.
Mazza, New York. What's up, baby?
Mazza, what's up? Thank you for having me. You know, it's a very, very dope experience. I'm glad that I could be a part of it. When you asked me, I didn't even know what I was really coming into, man. I'm impressed. Yeah, honestly, man.
I mean, you know.
And I'm very thankful. And you've been
you're my guy. You know
you've been a great, you know what, man, we always had a good energy when you were around. And, you know, I'm just blessed to be able to know you. And it's dope that, you know, I could learn from you and also we could have our relationship that we have, you know.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? But me and you, we haven't even known each other forever, nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Like, our relationship doesn't go way, way back. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a matter of fact, I kind of like found like your whole profile on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where we're pushing. I mean, that's the place to market at the moment. There's other, you know, platforms, obviously, but that's where you build a strong network, you know what I mean? Because it's a social network, and so it's dope to be able to touch base with a lot of people. So I remember when you came.
That was like about what? Like about a year and a half ago?
Probably, yeah. Definitely.
Maybe 2 years ago.
I think like 2020. I think like in that area, I remember you came.
It took about a year to get the piece.
Oh, man. It did take some time. It did
take a year.
There were some tune-ups.
But, you know, it was in COVID. It was a pandemic, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, you know what I'm saying? We still wanted to, you know what I mean, come see.
Well, the one thing about COVID and what people probably maybe don't know or probably do is that it changed the world. It also changed the way things were done. So when you were building jewelry, and not to mention during COVID was actually a time where I was pushing really hard. So what happened was I had a lot of content that I was putting out and I was advertising a lot. And so a big portion of my growth came through COVID because everybody was on social media, right? And it was crazy, man. And
that was crazy.
Yeah. And the thing is that the business, you know, I had just started that company at the end of 2018 from when I left my previous space that we were building, myself and someone else. And so the thing is that the growth happened so quick. Like the structure.
It did happen quick. So all right. So let me take it back for a little bit. So when I first noticed you in 2018, the page, I didn't notice you. I just noticed the page, and I noticed the work because I was looking for jewelry and new pieces, and I hadn't purchased any real pieces in a minute. I was just buying like little trinkets and stuff like that, you know, custom pieces and stuff.
But you're no stranger to it.
Never.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing this forever. You know,
you're the originator.
I wouldn't say the originator, but I put my work in as far as creative pieces in the game. You know what I'm saying?
The pioneer.
And I was looking for someone new, and I was digging the enamel work, and I seen a piece that you did. It was for actually, it happened to be like one of my little homies uptown, you know what I'm saying? Artie Going Loco. So
yeah.
He did the Going Loco piece, and this shit was glowing.
Shout out to Artie.
Shout out to Artie, that's bro.
And Eastwood East.
Dave East,
yep.
Shout out to Border Buck. Border Buck had a piece too.
He got a piece too.
He came through. I was like, oh, them joints is nice. Who did that? He was like, Mazza did it. I was like,
those are all good dudes, man.
Them pieces are different. Them pieces are one of a kind, unique.
So I saw the glow in the dark enamel blue joint glowing. I was like, oh nah. I gotta go see boy. Then I seen Capo with you, and I was like, oh shit, this is a home base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Davies, Bully.
Yeah, Bully is, so shout out to Bully, man. Man, I can't forget this guy. You know, he is very special to me, and he put me in tune with a lot of things. And you know, I'm forever, I would say, in some sort of a debt with him because of what he brought me into and showed me and really helped me with, you know. And every relationship that I build really comes from that seed that I planted with Bully. So shout out to Bully.
For everyone who's not familiar with Mazza New York, could you just tell them your Instagram page, like right now as we're like getting into the podcast?
At Mazza New York Official.
At Mazza New York Official, and the website also. Could you tell them
MazzaNewYork.com.
Follow him.
So while we're doing this podcast, I want y'all to just kind of like go on your Instagram and go skim through his page and check out the fly work and all that, because it attracted us.
Check out the website too.
Yeah,
the
check out the website.
has a lot of nice pieces.
Make sure to say that you saw me here. You know what I'm saying? Start communication up.
So, you know, what got you your start into the jewelry business, because the jewelry business is kind of, this is heavy smoke. So this is music, art, and fashion fueled by cannabis.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Which
And
we're
I
fueled
know a
by
little bit
cannabis.
about your history, so I want you to kind of like touch on it a little bit, because sometimes people think that the success stories happen overnight.
Yeah.
And that it's just everything is
That's
good.
all they see.
And they don't know where it started, or where the origin came from. And that's what this show is basically about, to kind of like show the platform for growth and hope for people that are on the grind and in places where they're like, how can I do that one day? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, number one, you have to have an interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
you have to have an interest, and you have to care about your interest. And then if you care about your interest, you'll work to learn your interest. And my mother kind of instilled jewelry. We didn't have much money growing up. I grew up in her bedroom, but she liked jewelry. She was in love with jewelry, and she was a single parent. And so I would listen to her talk about jewelry basically all day, all night.
Yeah.
And she would show me her jewelry over and over and over, and it wasn't crazy stuff. It was just nice stuff, but it wasn't crazy. But I guess somehow or another, it instilled, that interest in me to learn about it. And then
Cat got
I saw the cat. Yeah, I was like, oh wow,
got the
cat,
little Matrix cat in here.
Yeah,
dope.
dope,
You know what I'm
dope.
saying?
Came over, said what's up. And so anyways, and then going back to cannabis fueled, and so what I started doing, I took part in a bodega, and I was dabbling with the cannabis at that time, and I was learning business, entrepreneurship really.
Right.
And Gateway, which is now really respected, which is beautiful, right? To see that transition for it, and what it means for everything. Because everybody that I knew, really, we all smoked, so we were all getting together and smoking and talking and doing business or doing whatever we were doing. So it was like something that connected a lot of people. It was definitely a big part of my lifestyle. So fast forward, some things happened. I went to Florida, ended up doing a lot of like buying and selling on eBay with jewelry. I finally had some money, and I was down in Florida. I was hanging out and doing whatever I was doing, and I started buying jewelry. I was collecting this jewelry, and for whatever reason, I liked it, and I was wearing it once in a while. And I had a table full of jewelry, and I realized, man, I could probably try to sell this, and I did. I put it on eBay. I started an eBay store, and it kind of just started from there, where I was like rotating things.
How old were you?
Shit, I don't know. It was probably like, let's say 23, 24, 23. It was like, I had a little bit of money, not a lot of money, but enough to buy things at that time, which things were not crazy expensive. I mean, we're talking Joe Rodeo watches, Aquamasters. I mean, these are things that if people have been around, they'll know about them. If not, then they wouldn't. But so doing that, I got my interest, and then I met somebody through the internet, through eBay, and I ended up coming up, and he asked me to come up and help him with the business, and from there it's kind of history. I came to 47th Street.
Okay.
Years later, that's what we got.
The internet's been servicing you. There's like some talk about jewelry and this and that, and kind of like your history with another jeweler from the Diamond District.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Is that the person?
Yeah, that's the person. We spoke about it earlier.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, I helped build tracks, and I was a part of that. You know what I mean? So it's not something. It's a part of my journey, and I appreciate it, man. It was a wonderful journey, to be honest with you, man. I would never. Speaking of Joe Rodeo, which was Joe Rodeo, that guy was my mentor for many years. I was able to go and actually, do business with him for 9 years. And before that, I was looking at his watches, trying to buy his watches. So I never met him. I never knew. It was kind of like a myth in some weird sense, So to be able to learn from this gentleman, was a big deal.
So, through your journeys in the jewelry business and coming to 47th Street, what were like some of the lessons that you learned in the Diamond District and like in a 10-year course in being in the Diamond District?
I learned don't burn any bridges. That's important.
Heard you.
Yeah,
And life in general.
You got your name. And if you're ready to, I'd say burn a bridge or leave some, make sure you're ready to leave them. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they're not going to be a part of your journey. If you leave somebody behind, it's for a reason. And make sure you stick to your guns. Probably something happened. And if it does happen like that, make sure that you don't let that person back in, because that could be destructive.
So the emergence of on social media also, because I mean, social media is a heavy influence with the jewelry, because that's where people get
100%.
to actually floss their jewelry.
It's the culture.
Right? By the way, this is a Mazza.
It's a Mazza piece
a
right
Mazza
here.
creation.
That piece is
Very, and very
fire.
and very Bubsy,
I
right?
love it.
Makes
It's
it
very Bubsy.
Yeah, very Bubsy.
I love the colors.
The good thing is I got to creatively help. You know what I'm saying? By
100%.
submitting my own design, and sometimes people.
100%.
Sometimes people come in and they want the jeweler, of course, to do everything for them.
Not you. No, not you. You knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But you have a style about you, and it reflects you very well.
Thank you.
You know, the style and everything. But yeah, it was and building it was fun.
So
Took a
we
little time.
made sure that we came with our knowledge today. Tell them the four.
Yes.
Tell
Oh,
them,
wow.
Tell
Were
them
you
the
doing
four.
research on
Tell them the
these?
4 C's.
The 4 C's are color, clarity, cut, carrot.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Very important.
Very important.
Very important.
Yes.
Very
What's the
important.
most important part of those 4 C's
Well, they all really
when
play.
you're buying diamonds? For everyone out there that thinks that they're buying diamonds, like, what are some of the most important factors if someone's buying diamonds? Is it for flossing? Is it for investment?
I think it.
Does it determine?
I think it's determined on the person and what they're looking for, right? Because sometimes you know, whatever I think about jewelry or what the investment is or not, you could tell somebody, but if they're interested in one thing, they're going to go for it, right?
Right.
So I think depending on who the person is, what they want, and how they want to put it together, because some people don't care about the investment. They only care about the look, right? And other people really care about the investment, and this is where you would spend a little more, but you would have a better, foothold on it, on the investment itself. You know, whether it's certified, whether it's larger stones, better quality. You know, some people like to just buy gold chains. They
Right.
don't even do diamonds.
So I have another question about jewelry, right? So is it okay, right? Because for years, growing up in the hood, people be like, yo, what carat is your chain? Is it 14 carat? Is it 10 carat? Is it 24 carat? Is it 18, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Most people go with 14 carat.
It's pretty
I
standard.
went with 14
Yeah, it's
carat for my
14
setup.
carat.
Yeah.
I think it goes up to
24.
Well, it goes up to 24, but that's very soft. You wouldn't really make
Is it okay for someone as a customer, right, to buy 10 carat? Does it matter if they're going for the look, or does that determine it? Or what?
It again depends on the person, but what I would say is that sometimes in certain circumstances, it makes more sense for somebody if they're looking for a big chain, right? Let's say they're looking for a really big chain and it's a lot of material. It might be better for them to save the money on that. They might not care because they might say, hey, listen, man, I usually wear 14, but this is a 1,000-gram chain. So it's not, and again, it goes to budget, right? It goes to people and budgets, and I don't think it's a lower quality. It's just a lesser gold content. And people feel particular about it sometimes.
Which one is more expensive?
Well, 24 would be
Okay.
the absolute most, but that's not, like really 18K is where it would be,
24 is too soft
for diamonds. I don't recommend it, man. Cause even with 14K, listen, if you're setting something, especially big things, if you're setting 2, 3, 4,000 stones, 5,000 stones in something, you're bound to have 1 or 2 come out. But if you do something higher carat and softer, you're risking a much greater.
even more.
100%.
So would you say 10 carat would hold all those stones in there?
Yeah, it has a lot more alloy. So basically, yeah, it would be a little harder, a little more durable. But 14 is a good number to stay at.
That's a good, is it better turnaround? Like if you try to
Get rid of, sell it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that will there's a bigger market.
right.
I
10
think
carat, you're not getting no money back.
you're going to get the money back, but you're going to get what you put in. The one thing is, and I always tell people, listen, if you do 10 carat, you're not getting as much back, but keep in mind, you didn't put as much up in the initial investment, right?
Right.
So if something's going to cost you $10,000 in 10 carat, it might cost you $14,000 in 14 carat.
Yeah.
So, relative to the person, again, like their budget, what they think, but 14K.
What's the average clarity of a diamond when someone's buying?
Average clarity?
Yes.
When we say average, like the average, like what people are buying, purchasing?
Yes.
So it depends. I would say average across the board. I'd probably say an SI quality across the
SI
board.
quality.
I mean, not necessarily with my company, but I'm talking about
In general.
in general across all the entire industry within all markets. I think a lot of SI diamonds are sold because they can sometimes look very nice and they're not crazy expensive.
Okay.
On the smaller, so everything on our pendants is all VS quality. But
VS
Yes,
Yes,
quality.
VS. At minimum,
Mazza, could
That's
you
that
repeat?
Mazza water.
Could you please? This is that
VS
Mazza water.
VS quality.
All right.
E-color
Is that
for
the top?
Bubsy.
The top.
His
That's in
name
the
is on the
top.
back.
That's in the top
all right?
tier. Yeah, that's
Okay.
in the top tier. It's not the absolute highest, but it's definitely colorless. Stone. Very, very nice quality. And that's important. For certain people. It was important for me to take care of this guy for many reasons, right? Not just because of who he is or the relationship that we built in the couple of years we've known each other, but because of his circle. And because our circles kind of are intertwined in some manner.
1000%. Jen is my bro.
100%. So
East is my bro. Bully's my bro.
so those are things that
That's a reputation.
yeah, that's a nice reputation, right?
Yes.
And the thing is, I mean, it's even bigger than that. I mean, that's just a small part that we're connected to. I mean, he's obviously got a huge network. But the thing is that in general, it was nice, for sure.
Do you love doing the jewelry business? Are you, like, does it does it make you feel like when you wake up in the morning, like, yes?
It used to. I love it now. I do love what I do, and I'm passionate about it, and I put a lot of my heart and soul into all the pieces with you and everybody else. But I don't love it the same way. I think it's kind of like being married for 15 or 20 years. You know what I mean? You're like, you love it, but you're not, it's not like you're crazy in love. You know what I mean? It's a different love. It's a stronger love. It is who I am, but it's not who I will be forever.
What's the most challenging piece that you created?
The most challenging piece, man. I guess I built a lion recently that had a lot of emerald cuts, and it was very complicated to get the curves all together. Took a lot of time. We had to fit it a lot. It's like 110 carats of emerald cuts. So, yeah, the mane is all.
Emeralds
it's a
are
dope
a
piece.
lot.
Emerald cuts are, yeah, well, what happens too, though, is that you got to keep in mind when something gets hot, right? There's a premium. So what happens is in the beginning of these emerald cuts, which, I don't know exactly who started it. I have an idea who might have kicked it into gear. And these are all trends, by the way. So people.
You could say the name.
Yeah, well, Pristine, I think, probably kicked it off initially with what they had going on.
I would agree.
Yeah, and shout out to them, man. You know what? They've been in the business a long time, and they work hard, and I respect what they do. We're all artists in our own respect, and we don't all do the same thing.
That's why you're here on the show, because that separates jewelers from each other. It's the artistry of the work that's getting submitted in, right?
In my opinion, yes.
In my opinion, I feel the
in
same
my
way.
opinion, and you're an artist though. So the thing is, and if you're an artist, then you appreciate things for the art, and you seek other artists, right? Some people don't necessarily look for the art; they're just looking for a piece of jewelry, and that's different.
There's pieces for everyone. There's something for everyone in that business.
But it's not all art, in my opinion.
No, some things are. It's like buying a poster.
Possibly.
A poster is as opposed to buying a painting of the.
What was it, Spencer's? That used to have all those posters.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Going, it's like everything, right? Everything and nothing all in one shot.
The reason why I also like the experience with your business was because it was small and it was catered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, private.
Yeah,
very private, and you could come in and just. You don't have to worry about the commotion going on.
I had to take a different approach. I had to go down to the Diamond District and be like, "Hey, it's me, Bubsy. What's happening?" Because the man is busy. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, thankfully, and you're busy too. But yeah, thankfully, I'm very busy.
I made sure I got over there though, because I didn't. One thing is that I don't be in my feelings about really nothing.
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm too
You're
busy.
active.
I'm too busy.
You got a good life.
Having a good time and heavy smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy smoke. I'll tell you this already. I took only 6, 7 puffs of that right there. I'm already. I had to put that thing down.
You had to clip that.
Yeah. My guy Dave over there was asking. He's like, "Yo, if we don't have any weed, we're gonna have to bring it." I said, "No, I don't think we have to worry about this, man."
No.
Nah, got
You're
you.
at the Smokers Club.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Smokers Club.
We're at the
You already
Smokers
know
Club.
what it is.
I didn't know what I was walking into though. From seeing the operation, I'm very, very impressed.
Good. You know what I'm saying? So, we need more jewelry. That's one thing. You already know what the vibes on that.
That's it, but we're ready.
Lisa over there, she needs some more ice.
Yeah,
Some more ice,
please.
okay,
Ice
all
me
right.
out.
Yeah, we got that. Bubsy and I'll help you out with that.
But besides that, getting back to the art of the whole business, are you a collective art or like? And I know that the business is also, and especially your business, is built off of watches.
Watches are really big right now. Yeah.
What's for a guy right now? What's the most popular watch right now?
Well, the most common I would say is a Rolex, and then you go into like APs, and then you go into Pateks and things like this, and then obviously like Richard Milles. And there's even brands that are very, very expensive that are amazing pieces of art.
Jacobs?
Yeah, I mean Jacobs. Yeah, sure. They have interesting movements right now. He took a different course. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember. I mean, obviously we've all been following Jacob forever, and he's a pioneer in it. He took a different course, so the watches he's doing now are very interesting. You know, they're very, very interesting.
For the ladies jewelry shopping for a watch, which would you pick out of these two? A Rolex or Audemars?
Yeah, Audemars for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a 37 millimeter, 34 millimeter, depending on your wrist. It's a statement.
She's trying to get a rolling.
Yeah, you're trying to get it. Also, this is
You
like
got to get an Audi now.
Or that one or Cartier?
No, Audemars. I think. Well, the thing is, it
You got a
depends.
Cartier on?
Yeah, I'm wearing one. This is for my business. You know, I just grabbed it and left. It's not
nice.
necessarily mine.
It's nice. You can leave it
I
here.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could definitely leave that here.
You know what I'm
It's a nice. It's a nice piece. One thing about this watch I'm not impressed with is that it's a manual wind.
It's a lot of money for that, though. That's like a $70,000 watch.
Something like that, possibly.
Right?
yeah.
80?
Yeah, 7 in the marketplace. Yeah, so it's probably 40 something in retail, but now out here maybe like 70,000.
How is the market right now? Is it a good time to get a watch right now? Is it not? Is it like buy at your own risk? Is it like you gotta love it, you gotta want it, or
You gotta love it and you gotta want it because the type of money that us men and even women are spending on watches, I think you have to love it.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Or you gotta at least feel it. Like you gotta know you're either getting the best deal ever or you love it for sure.
It's levels to this.
There are very big levels to this, and a lot of these things are things that millionaires play with. You know what I mean? So it gives it that added, let's say, factor of desirability, I guess. Right? I mean, especially with whatever it is. You ever wearing a watch or no?
yeah, I got a little.
What do you got?
I got a little cosmetic Gucci watch on.
Oh,
A little custom bezel on it. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
seen you with nice watches, or nice timepieces.
Yeah.
I've seen you around.
I switch it up. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to get a Rolex.
I do.
Those are good
Or
watches.
whatever you would recommend.
Listen, Rolexes, and I don't say this to say that Rolexes are not a great investment, and they are, but they're just not the same. The same
Tier
space,
is
you
that?
know? I think so. Yeah, it's just a higher
Is
tier.
it like on a buyback or on just having it as a piece?
I think all of it. I think all the way around, the investments are good. At this point, you never know what a market is going to do. Sometimes they're extraordinary and they continue to soar, and sometimes there's a bubble, and sometimes things go bad. So just like stocks and real estate, it's a market.
It's a market.
It's a market. It all comes down to market.
How did it feel being at Madison Square Garden at the Versus and being called out to throw it on the big chain on Jimmy?
Wow, man.
Because that was a
That
moment.
was big.
Man, shout out to Jimmy, and thank you just for that experience. Forget the opportunity. I mean, the opportunity was amazing, but the experience of being there and being backstage and just that moment, man, it just felt like, I kind of felt like, it was maybe like early 2000s or something, like really early.
Well, they played my record, Purple City Bird Gang.
Yes,
Shout out
they
to
did.
Capo.
Yes,
you know
they
what I'm saying?
did. That was dope.
And the funny thing was just that, when you brought the chain out, the locks was kind of like heckling the situation. You know what I'm
As
saying?
they probably should have.
on some, on some funny shit on stage, like, you know what I'm saying? But I noticed that Jada Kiss came and got a piece from you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
His shit is fire.
Shout out to Jada.
His
Thank
shit
you
fire.
very
He
much.
He got the emeralds in the
He
city
got the
and all
Emerald
that.
Skyline.
He went crazy.
And
That Mazza water.
amazing experience to work with him and build a relationship with him. And then, the fact that he seeked me out to work with me, was a big honor because I've been, my whole life has probably been from money, power, respect, and honor.
Heard you.
You know what I'm saying?
Needs all of us.
Yeah, I'm saying
Shit,
everybody.
We
And-
like the same age, but they'd been doing this. Like,
Yeah, man, it was amazing, and the whole experience between Dipset and the Locks to go to that was unbelievable. But it was dope to have him hit me up and have me make a piece for him. That was a big opportunity.
did that help business for you?
I think it did, yeah, man. I mean, I think
Jadakiss got a piece.
Yeah, 100%. And
He's like, I need one of
and
those.
aside from that, man,
Water.
and it was dope because he saw obviously the verses, but before that, I made a piece for Millie's, and then I did this
the
piece.
Blanco piece.
Yep. And
Shout
then
out to Millie.
Shout out to him, man, for sure. And then east. So he was kind of going places and seeing my work around, and I think he just at one point
Capone had a piece, got a
Capone
piece.
got a piece. Yep. That was amazing experience.
That was fire too. When I seen his piece, I was like, oh, nah.
Yeah,
His
that's
work is
brand
clean.
I gotta go see him.
I gotta go see him.
He's a great
Damn,
guy, man.
I
He's a
can't
great
be
guy.
last. I can't be last,
Very
man.
humble,
Should've
great
went to
guy.
Mazza.
Should have went to
Should've went to
Mazza. God damn.
For sure. So, but that was also that whole journey. But in general, it was. It's just dope to be able to build relationships with people that they're such a big part of
You
everything.
made the bracelet too.
I did, and this is amazing.
That
This is fire.
bracelet, I love that bracelet.
Yeah.
I haven't
dope.
taken the shit off since I
It's
got
so
this shit.
unique.
No,
Nah,
you shouldn't.
I don't.
Why should you?
I sleep with it. I do everything with it. you
This
know
is
what
it.
I'm saying?
It's like a part of the wardrobe every day.
It's part of.
That's dope.
This is like
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I don't never take this shit off.
You
I should
know,
have just
have
made
to,
it a permanent lot.
I have to make a piece of jewelry for me. Actually, like I started working.
I
on a
told you
piece.
that already, man.
What kind of jewelry, what piece would you make?
Well, I started building a piece probably 3.5 years ago, and I just never finished it, man. I got so busy I wasn't able to focus, and I changed it a couple times, and I wasn't really ready to commit to it because I want to make something very special.
How does someone get a piece from you? Like someone who doesn't, they're not in the loop. They don't know your phone number.
Or they don't know somebody that knows me, so
They
can
don't
get in
know.
touch.
They don't know bully. You know what I'm saying? The rest of us ain't telling.
They got
you know what I'm
to
saying?
send
not looped in.
DMs or
Do they
texts.
work? Do the DMs work? Like,
Not all the time.
right?
Not all the time. I wish I could. And the thing is,
Can they pull up? Is it not a pull up situation?
it's an appointment only situation. If you
It
pull up,
says that on the website.
it does, and it's possible that if you do pull up, you may get turned away. And not that I want to do
You're
that.
busy.
I'm busy, and I mean, it's all different circumstances. I like to set times apart. So like when people come in, personal experience. You know what I mean? Nobody's walking around. Nobody's saying anything. It's conversation between the two of us. We're getting to what we need to do, and it's a personal experience for sure. Even for me, it's important that I don't have a lot of commotion going on while I'm trying to figure out what I have to do because it's high ticket items.
Speaking of high ticket items, what's the most expensive item that you sold?
Oh man, the most expensive item that I've sold. I'd probably say it was a watch.
How much was that watch?
How much was that watch?
At the time, it's a lot more. It was probably like 290 something thousand. For a watch. And pendants I've done for like 150.
That's the Lisa B's favorite tagline. Wow.
Wow, right? Yeah. Sometimes I'm like
That number?
from where I come from and how the journey started and from selling watches that were maybe $500. Imagine what kind of experience or journey that was to get to.
That sounds like a flight. That sounds like an experience.
It was like
Sounds like
a rocket ship that never landed wherever it was until one day you just realized it landed.
Right.
Yeah, it was amazing. It still is.
So make sure y'all hit him in the DM.
Hit me in the DMs. You could text on the profile.
Is it
page.
better to hit on the website? Is it better to send?
No.
The
No,
website
it's
is
not.
like kind of like just to show to see what we have and
Showcase what's going on and see some experiences. But yeah, it's not, you can send emails and somebody will get back to you, but it's going to take a little time where you're going to get faster service. Fastest way to communicate with me is text.
heard you.
And go to profile and just, hit it. And if I don't answer, just make sure it's just a number that's showing up and there's a lot of numbers. So make sure to hit me again and be like, yo,
You gotta
urgent.
be. I was persistent.
You were. A lot of people are, thankfully. You know what I mean?
I was like, nah. Hold up.
I got it. Yeah, I got a link in here. Yo, you know who I am?
No, I didn't.
You
do
didn't
that.
say that. No.
I didn't do that. I was like,
You were persistent.
I was persistent though. I was like, come on, I gotta spin this back with you. Chill out.
Yeah, and then I think we set up an appointment and you just came through. But you're local, so it's different. A lot of people that I work with are not in New York.
I did hit
Wow.
I did hit you in the DM and you did respond though right away. So that
I try my best.
it set the temperature right there. So it was like, all right, he knows that I'm interested. You know
I
what
try my best, and I try to allot certain times throughout a day to kind of go and answer DMs. But unfortunately, DMs, and I'm sure a lot of people know, but maybe when they don't have a crazy volume, what happens is they get pushed down. So as I'm answering and as I'm doing everything, these other messages are shooting down and down and down. And when you're answering a couple hundred messages at a time, or trying at least, and it's they go down pretty far.
Heard you.
You may never see them again. sorry to anybody that happened to, by the way, because I'm sure somebody's going to watch this and they may have been like, I was one of those people. I apologize.
You know, be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I have one of the, what is it, the request column?
Yeah,
in my DM?
requests. Do you have a general too?
Yeah. I apologize to everyone because you know, it's a lot of spam in that shit, and it's hard for me to
Be careful what you open to.
And I don't even want. And that's the other thing.
Especially with a good account.
I block people. I block
right
people
away.
that I know because they send you weird DMs like.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they get hacked.
It's like, can you help me?
I hope they're hacked.
Can you help me?
I've addressed these people on my stories like, yo, do not send me no Cash App shit. Do not talk to me about you need help.
Nothing.
Yeah, this is weird, man. This is weird. But I have a feeling.
It's actually good. Yeah, because it's kind of like bringing us back to where the era we came from.
Which is like, how's it bringing it back though? Like,
stay off the phone.
Oh, stay off.
It's like, stay off the gram with that shit.
Yeah. Well, the gram is a different kind of place now.
It's the metaverse.
It's the introduction. This goes very far. I'm going to tell you. I
have
my own
opinion
about this, but this is a different kind of conversation.
It's the human metaverse.
It's the human metaverse. It's going to be pretty real, man. I think there's going to be a lot of people, instead of how we're doing here and talking on this podcast or being out in the open, I think a lot of people are going to be sitting home and never leaving.
Do you have any NFTs?
No, I don't. I tried, actually, and I got robbed.
Word?
Interestingly enough. And it kind of shied me away from it. I wanted them, but then I'm like, I got watches.
How did you get robbed?
So
how did that
I
happen?
sent money. I'm following a Discord. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I'm also following the page, and I'm trying to keep up with what's going on. And I'm a little busy, so I might look at something maybe in the morning or last night and maybe not see it for 2 days, And I just got a notification, and I went to a website, which was probably now at this point a fake site that they probably set up, and I sent some money. So when I did, and it wasn't a crazy amount of money, but it was just a turn off to the whole
concept.
Yeah,
Like, let me just chill out and stay in my lane.
It's too much fraud going on, and the thing is, it's not traceable. You know what I mean?
It's
Like you go and you follow where it went, and there's
yeah.
just a page, and you're like, oh shit, this motherfucker already got fucking 800,000 like this, and you see all the
transactions.
Yeah, you're like, it's like almost like, at least I don't want to look at the transactions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what happened, but I don't need to fucking look at this shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I got a little turned off. I mean, I have a little crypto. I got it from people, and it's been up, it's been down. I respect the whole space, but I'm not necessarily in love with it.
So I know you're building out your space. You got the studio now.
Yeah, I got a little studio over
space,
there. I got a little
come check it out myself.
You got to join my podcast. It might not be the type of production. I'm pretty impressed.
Why not?
But I'll do my best.
Why not? This is home team. We're saying my team is available to you.
Yes, well, thank you. I appreciate that. We might have some questions.
You got Jay on the team, so
yes, I got Jay right there, and I said, hey, you want to come today so we could kind of see what's going on? But now that I see it, I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, yo, Jay, we gotta revamp our idea, bro. All right, we gotta step it up about 6 notches. So, but yeah, man, this is great.
This is heavy smoke, man.
Heavy smoke.
I'm Shice Bubs.
And Lisa B.
And Mazza's here. I'm about to light this up right here.
You already know, man. This is heavy smoke. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tune in on Apple Music, wherever we streaming at. Holla at your boys. And guess what? You probably won't be able to get one. But guess what, though? Maybe you will. So
maybe you will. DM me, text me. Maybe you will. Say Shice Bubs.
Check out the IG.
Check out the IG, the website. What about you, Bubs? You got a website?
Yeah.
What is it?
perpinvaders.com, thesmokersclub.com.
By the way, iconic packaging and branding.
Theheavysmoke.com.
Yes. More. Well, you got any more?
I mean, I'm loaded, man.
Loaded, locked and loaded.
TedsBudsDistro.com. Hello.
Wow. Entrepreneurship at its finest.
Anyway, we out of here.
Oh, we're out of here.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll take that jewelry box. Thank you.
Yes.